If I could have everybody's attention, I'm starting out with this bummer here, but I think we all got into this industry to really solve problems in the world. And I think we all detect that that's not really happening the way we wanted when we originally got in. Let me move forward here. This is what we see in the news. So pretend you're not in the industry and you are outside looking in. This is, I mean, I get like dozens of these per week, right? Like this failure, that failure, the other failure. And so this is what the outside looking in is kind of seeing when they're thinking about blockchain. The problem that we're solving specifically is credibility, right, for this entire industry. The credibility, I mean, we are in a time right now where we're scamming presidents of countries, so there's that. And so aside from that, we've got three main problems here. We've got a lot of theft and loss. We have over the last 10 years, it's almost $80 billion in losses. Every year there's something. It's theft, it's exploits, it's whatever. Exit scams, things like that. Losses are happening. Complexity, I don't think this is a surprise. It's hard to use blockchain for people on the outside looking, and we're kind of used to it. But I'll tell you one thing, adding more bridges to the problem is making it more complex. It's not making it less complex. So bridges are actually part of this problem. So are layer twos. Adding more layer twos is part of the problem. It makes it more complicated to use our industry. And not less. Centralization is another problem. We are solving a lot of the things that we need to do in blockchain by centralizing parts of it. Obviously, exchanges are very custodial, but we are using custody for lending. We're using custody for a bunch of other things. We have very centralized blockchains. I'm going to mention Solana. I hope there's no Solana people here, but that's super centralized. and other blockchains, Whipple, so far, they're all very centralized to get the speed that clients are wanting and so forth. The other thing that we're centralizing is utility on a blockchain. So every new blockchain wants to be the new blockchain that has all the utility on it. So Solana is kind of taking stuff that would have been on Ethereum and so forth. There's new blockchains coming around. So even if the blockchain itself is decentralized, the utility that is in our industry is centralized onto blockchains. These three things together is what's making our credibility lower than we would like it to be. We want a rock-solid industry such that the Fords of the world and the governments of the world and whatever come in and say, yes, blockchain is a viable way to do our infrastructure or our asset tracking or whatever. All the things that we just talked about in this panel here can't come in until we have stepped up this whole industry. So that's the main thing. What we have fixes all of the things that are leading to this stuff. Our model is to connect blockchains directly together. So I'm going to look over here. This is an example. If Bitcoin and Ethereum had our technology in it, they could be directly bonded together. I'm using the word bonded to mean a direct connection. No intermediaries. So to get from here to here, you don't need to go look up how you're going to get from here to here. There's 106 bridging projects, maybe more. It's another week now. And with this, what's happening here is I'm sending from, in this case, Bitcoin directly to Ethereum. It is the Ethereum validators that are saying this is the wrapped Bitcoin. And it's the Ethereum validators that are making an official version of wrapped Bitcoin. You don't have to worry about if you're using the bridge that Joe owns in Utah or whatever. So this is a non-custodial, truly decentralized and trustless method of moving funds from one blockchain to another, where the validators themselves are representing the coins. This is the least interesting part. The more interesting part are what we call service chains. Service chains are layer one blockchains that are directly connected to other blockchains. So what we can do is that we can deploy our utility on layer one blockchains. So now anything a smart contract can do, a layer one blockchain can do in and of itself. And now what's nice about this is you can come in from other chains to your service chain and do this service. Let me give you an example. If Tether did this, I'm using this for you guys, you know, Scott. If Tether did this, there would be a Tether blockchain, and they could just connect to the blockchains that they want that deploy this technology. They develop once and then connect to what they need to connect to. They can develop in any language and only do it once. This way, and the blockchain itself can have all of the characteristics and traits that they need to have. Maybe it's a fast block time. Maybe it's a short finality or a long one. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's a particular set of type of smart contracts. I don't know what people are going to build. I know that it's better to build once and deploy everywhere than have different versions of stuff that they turn on and off with time. So you can have one service chain and connect it to other blockchains that have this technology in it. You control the fees this way. It's easier to deploy. Whatever asset you want to do, you can put on there, and you can program in any languages. Okay, this is better, so it's better for you developers, and it's also better for you and me and Aunt Mary, right? So now they're looking into an industry that is directly connected. It is far safer, right? Everything is trustless from here to here, from here to there. Every system right now, all the bridges, they're all trust minimized, they say. And to me, that's like saying you're a little bit pregnant, right? You're either trustless or you're not, period. Our method of moving assets is truly trustless from here to there, and so it's safer for people to use. It's simpler to use, right? You don't need to figure out how you're getting from here to there because the validators of both chains are making the path for you. And then it's much more adaptable for whatever you want to do. You can have different services that do different things, connect to different things, different ways, and there's no hub, there's no particular one way to do things. So it's highly adaptable for whatever is created in the system. This is one global ecosystem. It's not a hub with some chains on it or anything like this. Anything can be connected to anything. This way it's more of a web or a 3D web than it is a hub or a system or anything like that. We just think anything should be connected to anything. There's no longer bridge hacks with this. Exit scams are much harder with this. So it doesn't really matter what hardware you're using. It's just a lot easier for users to be in. Investors with this model, and I'm just talking about if this, or when this technology gets deployed, whether in our chain or in other chains, there are new models that can happen for investors. So, for example, what I'm showing here is that fees on service chain get shared with different people, certainly the validators, but if you build a new kind of utility on a service chain, some of those fees could go to your partners directly, right out of the service chain. Investors, some of those fees can go to the investors. Investors like tokens. And you don't really need a token to do the thing, right? That's kind of something we've been doing to say that there's utility for this token and they all go to zero. But what you can do for investors is really you can create a token that attracts future fees. So now investors still get their token to do the thing. They still get their token for the thing, but that token is attracting future fees. I can give the token from me to you, and now you are getting the fees instead of me. So that is another way investors are benefiting from a system like this, and we don't need a token to do the thing all the time. Again, it's very flexible. Anybody can design whatever they like to make in the way the fees work. All right, so there's more revenue sharing in this model than current models. It's a lot easier to use. And then holders. So this is for us, our coin. Other people who deploy this technology may do it different ways. For us, we've got the service chain validators. They get fees. So if you hold coins, you would validate. The treasury gets some fees. And then Zkalyx, the main chain, some coins trickle up to the main chain. So if you're getting rewarded there as well as validating the main chain. So there's a lot, as this is promoting utility. As we get more and more service chains doing different things, NFTs, markets, asset tracking, whatever there's in the future, as more people are deploying this technology, there'll be more fees available for more things. And it is making it so that it makes the validators want more utility. The better thing that's for holders is that once you have service in a service chain, you can come in from any chain that has this technology in it, and you can use that coin. So as a user, when you're coming in, you may come in with Doge. There's a liquidity pool there, but the fees that are happening in the service chain are still our coin. So the validators and the holders are all getting paid in our coin, even if people come in with other coins. The experience for people who want to come in and use the utility means they can use whatever coin they want or that they're holding. They don't necessarily need to buy our coin, but our validators are still getting paid in fees from our coin. It's a much better model because you don't need to figure out what you need to buy. You can just use what you have. And then, of course, as I said before, there's endless earning opportunities because anything you can do in a smart contract, you can do this way. So this way is better for so many reasons. It's putting out a service chain that does your utility is a lot easier to detect whether or not it's a scam or not, because you can't just copy a blockchain and put that out. It is it's more robust against malicious actors. And it is more inclusive to everybody in the world. You can do consensus models that are not as hard as other things, as long as they are validating the utility that you're doing here. So that means a lot more people can come into the system and benefit from being a validator with lower end hardware. So it's more inclusive to everybody in the world if we do it this way. It's safer, easier, and better. Now, this is just an example. When we get into this and we start doing DeFi, we'll have a service chain that is connected to other chains, be a central point for DeFi. This is a huge market. Just this market alone, we think $280 million in fees distributed to holders in year 5 when we start going into this. As we connect to more chains, DeFi will be bigger and bigger. That's just one. As we get into other things and people start deploying it this way, obviously the markets get huge. Most importantly, we have a safe industry. This is the team. Obviously, there's me way over here, the ball guy. I have only done startups, and I love building stuff that doesn't exist. Herman is our CTO. He's the guy who invented this technology. He is super smart. His background is all cryptography and algorithmic math. I can't even say that word very easily. My COO is brilliant in our finance, and our CCO handles partners and clients going forward. He is handle with care is his motto for helping partners and clients. These are our advisors. We have an advisor who is well known in the crypto investment industry. Julia is well known in finance and fintech, and Anoop is well known in blockchain, networking, and IoT. So they're helping us out with this whole project, and that's us. And then let's talk about how we're going to get there. This is not a meme coin, I'm sorry. We will not be making it in this year. This is a long project. We have a heavy lift. So year 1 is getting to our prototype and testnet, continue with growth. We're going to build through the bear, and then year 4 we'll be ready to release. That's kind of the idea. By year 4, you'll see our main chain, and you'll see dozens from us of service chains providing services that currently exist right now. We are looking out there and saying, oh, that's popular, let's do that one. So basically anything you can do with smart contracts, you can do better with service chains. We're going to be releasing those, providing the utility that way. The first part of this, obviously, is building on technology, but we need to move into marketing because I just spoke to you about this. This is hard to understand, and we need to tell the world about this. So there's a lot of marketing campaigns, making sure that we bring in awareness, hackathons, grants, all that kind of stuff. This is a 4-year project without a doubt. That's it. My name is Robert Hirsch. This is how we fix our industry. We stop bridging, we start bonding, we connect everything trustlessly, and then we release the demon here. There's an amazing amount of utility that can be done, and done in ways that we even can't do now. Trustless, better for everyone, and new opportunities because we have now gained the credibility that we should have had today. I think that's it. That's it. Okay. Can I do questions? Oh, she's not here. Awesome. So not all fraud. Yeah. So we definitely don't handle all fraud. Phishing, we can't. Fishers are fishers. We can't do anything. When people are letting people in, we can't do anything about that. things like exit scams, for example, are right now, it's a smart contract, multi-sig wallet kind of paradigm. And that's the thing that's vulnerable, right? So when smart contracts face outside the blockchain, there's ways to exploit. That doesn't happen here. Everything is trustlessly connected. You don't need to do that anymore. The service chains are there's no keys to move back and forth through stuff. The service chains actually own the assets. So because everything is truly trustless from one to the other, anything that has to do with custody, anything that has to do with exploitation, anything that has to do with breach exploitation, anything that has to do with like exit scam kind of stuff, all of those things get obviated. Does that make a little more sense? Cool. Anybody else? I saw Donnie came back. Oh, sure.
So, well, thanks for the presentation.
Yeah.
I appreciate when you said we're not a meme coin, it's a full-year project.
Yeah.
How do you envision keeping up with all the changes that are happening and will likely continue to happen over the 4 years?
Yeah. So it depends on the changes that you mean. So for us, we are putting Band-Aids on Band-Aids right now. So there's bridges, and there's bridge aggregators. They call them chain abstraction. And so we're really continue to make the problem worse. We are building more bridges. It's a better bridge. It's a better bridge. So that's not a path that I think is viable long term. But as new technologies do come in, we are definitely we're really technology agnostic. So when there's a new chain or a new consensus model, we don't care. This technology is compatible with anything that works, even stuff we don't know yet, because of the way the technology gets deployed inside the blockchain. So there's a lot of things that we're agnostic to, and so it doesn't matter. And fundamentally, when we get there, people won't be building bridges anymore. Any more questions? I love the questions, please. Chris? Nothing? Josh?
I was trying to think of it.
All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.